What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We finally have a scheduled date for the H2B CRX to get onto the dyno. I did mention in the last video that we were supposed to color sand the car and polish it out, but the pads and the compound is not going to show up until next week. So we're going to put that off to the side for right now, but I do want to get everything kind of tip top with the car. Now, technically it runs and it drives, just needs a tune because it's on a base map. But if you guys saw the last video update, we kind of had a little puncture on the radiator and we tried to repair it with water well. The puncture is actually further in and the putty wouldn't get all the way in. It did stop the leak from the front, but it is still kind of seeping from the rear. Now, the other day when I went to go put on some wheels and tires on the car, literally underneath the car is all freaking wet. Like, the entire cooling system bled itself out. So I did order another radiator, this one right here, and we're gonna change it over to a regular half-size radiator. Now, I did get another Speed Factory radiator for the replacement in the car, but this one has -16 hoses. I meant -16 fittings, and these aren't removable, so I can't even change them out if I wanted to run the regular barb style for the radiator hoses. And I decided that I'm not gonna run this and just save it for a later build. Instead, we're gonna go with the regular half core. So that's what I wanna do today. I wanna pull out the messed up CSF radiator that's currently in the car and then try to mock up the half core and get that all situated before we get the car ready to go to the dyno. You, come off. So if you guys look underneath, all my coolant is just sitting there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drain it real quick. I think there's a little drain plug right there. I might have to get a new hose for the lower radiator because this one is custom. You can see the aluminum adapter piece that I made for the CSF radiator. This thing, you can remove the fitting, which I can switch over to 16 if I wanted to, but the Speed Factory isn't. So it looks like I'm gonna have to buy another hose just so we can go all the way down to the regular half-size radiator. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take off all these hoses. This might have to change as well too because of the position of the other radiator, so I may have to find one that fits this one as well too. So this is the old radiator. This was a radiator that came out of Troy's EK that made 700 plus, and he upgraded to the Speed Factory full-size tuck radiator with the combo of their intercooler. If you look right here, there's a little patch of water weld that I try to patch a little cut in the core, and I patched the outside, but it is still leaking from the fan side, and I can see it literally just dripping through, dripping down to the floor, and that's where we're losing all of our coolant. So because it's really hard to try to patch that up, maybe I'll try to fix that at a later time, take this water weld off and then really inspect it, clean the fins out, and maybe try to like braze it or something. But for right now, we're not going to be using this. So we have this new radiator right here. This was from eBay, literally made in China, and It's funny that the description said that this is specifically for the EF chassis 88 to 91, and usually in aftermarket radiator it's just universal between the EKs, the DCs, or the EGs. But this one was listed for the CRX, which in the picture looks shorter. If you guys didn't know, the EG DC radiators sit taller in our cars, and you'd have to bring it down in order to clear the hood. But this one said it was for the CRX. I'm hoping it's for the CRX, but based off the measurement on the eBay listing, it's literally the same dimension as the EG and DC. So cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. Holy crap, this thing is freaking thick, boy. I must have not read this correctly, but holy cow. Now the G+3 row is pretty thick, but man, did I not read the description on the thickness of this. It looks to be a 2.5-inch core, which is a lot bigger than your typical eBay radiators, and I'm not really complaining about it because, you know, more cooling capacity the better. But I don't know if we have enough space between this radiator and the turbo. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, kind of like it. Let's go test fit it. I think I'm gonna have to take off my downpipe to really test fit it to see how much space I actually have. Because right now it doesn't even go all the way down because the radiator support, lower support is still there, and the downpipe is kind of in the way. What I'm thinking of doing is chopping off this lower radiator support, but not entirely, just enough to fit the radiator and bring it down lower, and then make some new tabs for it. I've done it in the red all-wheel drive CRX, and it's been like that for so many years, and I think I might have to do the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the downpipe off and see how much further I can get this down. Damn, not shabby. Get you guys caught up here. So we cut off the lower frame, and we trimmed and trimmed and trimmed until we got it to fit the contours of the radiator. So let me show you guys how this fits. And unfortunately, this radiator is still a little too big. So now that we have the bottom lower radiator support cut out, the radiator is tilted all the way forward, and it is at the height we need it to be. Except this thing is a triple core, and it is too damn thick. It is still in the way of the downpipe. Now I can go about this two different ways. I can cut a couple of rows off and then plate the end to box it all up, and you know, that'll fit the downpipe, which I've done before. Or I can go and order the smaller radiator, which is 1 3/4 versus 2.5, which will bring the core further in to clear the V-band to run the downpipe. Now the fan has to go all the way to the left in order to allow the 3-inch downpipe to fit. I did weld the downpipe really tight on the bend, so I'm not really too worried about it not fitting with the fan, but you know, we won't know until we put it all together. So while I was doing this, I had a call from Herb, and he was kind of in dire need of help, and I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Well, him and Sabrina went to go drive the car around town, and well, the car just kind of jolted to a stop. And I was like, what do you mean? The car forced itself to stop? What he meant was the car doesn't roll anymore. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It drove fine yesterday, it drove fine today, and the car is now here at the house. And he pretty much explained to me exactly what the car was doing. It does not move. It's literally like in freaking gear, but it's in neutral. So what it seems to be is something in the transmission is broken or seized up or something like that, where the car doesn't go into gear, it doesn't roll. And let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So right now we're in neutral, right? And we have some gears. We have first, we have third, we have sometimes the other gears, but we got fourth, but no second, no fifth, no reverse. Reverse, you can kind of hear it, but not engaging, right? So let me show you guys. Car on, we're in neutral, we're kind of in gear, but let's take it back out of gear, and then I'm gonna let go of the clutch, and the car is going to jolt and die. See, the car is acting like it wants to go, but it doesn't, because when I apply gas in neutral, it dies. It doesn't go. So something's going on with the transmission. We just fixed the clutch cable and engagement yesterday, which was, you know, kind of weird that this all of a sudden wants to happen. But yeah, we're gonna have to yank the transmission out of this car and replace the whole shebang with the clutch and remain sealed and everything in that vicinity, because, you know, why do it 20 times later down the road? Just do it all at once now. So I have to find him a transmission and get down to work with this car soon. So we wrapped it up with the white H2B CRX yesterday because I can't further make progress on it because we don't have the right size radiator and I don't have a welding machine to modify the 3-row radiator. So I ordered another one last night. Hopefully it comes in tomorrow. Today we decided that we're just going to work on Herb's wagon because his transmission is toasted. He located another one. Shout out to Marcus. And what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to find a way to get that car up here because one is super slam and two, I don't think it rolls far enough because it's stuck in the gear. But we're gonna try to get down to the driveway so I can get to work to pulling the transmission out. And within a few hours, he's gonna take off north to go meet up with Marcus to pick up the SI transmission.
Yes, sir.
And then once he gets back, we'll go to the store, we'll buy a clutch, probably remain sealed as well too while we're down there, and hopefully we get everything all buttoned up tonight. It shouldn't take long because it's a single cam, it's a base model, it doesn't have a lot of things in the way. So let's just figure out how to get that over here. Also this morning, Herb sold his hood literally probably less than 12 hours ago. You posted it up and then it was sold this morning. So Herb's carbon fiber hood is gone. He sold the hood to make fundage to buy the transmission, probably a new clutch as well too, and anything else he needs to get this thing running tips. And if you guys remembered, he also had carbon fenders and he sold that a little while ago, actually to the same guy. Same guy. So yeah, he doesn't have a hood. And you know, you're not supposed to drive around without a hood, but when you have a stock engine like that, who really gives a shit, right? So again, let's get that car into the driveway. Come to the passenger side. If you're gonna push, I'm gonna pull. Keep going. Stop. Now we're going to try to attempt to get up on the driveway. Never thought I'd see Herb's wagon on the dissecting table, but it's here.
The low life chose
the low life chose you, huh? Look at this, guys. It does not even go under the cross member. That's crazy. I guess we're just gonna use. You don't even have tow hooks. No mommies, bro.
Yeah, those are gone.
Oh man. Okay, well. What'd you say? You didn't choose a low life?
I didn't choose the low life. The low life chose me. I get in a car, it automatically sinks. Come on, man.
So I'm about to get started with Herb's wagon, and he's actually about to take off to go pick up the transmission. So right now I got the car jacked up, and I'm really curious to know if there's any oil in the transmission. Now you guys saw Herb's wagon is freaking slammed, and he remembered a while ago when he busted his oil pan, the mechanic that changed it for him said the transmission had a crack on it, and that crack was leaking. Now the same transmission is still in the car. Crack was never fixed. We don't know if it drained oil out as he was driving this thing on a daily, but again, really wanting to know if there's any oil in here at all. I can tell you that there's a bunch of oil spread along the floorboard of the car, and a lot of smashed up parts. My goodness. Wow, look how much the engine moves. Moment of truth. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Holy cow. You guys see all that oil coming out? Yo. Okay, you guys can clearly see that, right? There's a freaking hole right there, and it looks like it's not the like hollow part of the bell housing. That looks like where the oil would be sitting. So that will kind of actually make sense why there's no oil in here. God damn it, Herb, you and your low life. God damn it.
We're raising her up. We're raising her up.
Probably going to set you guys up on the time lapse right here. It is currently 3:22. Let's get to work. Woo, okay. All right, guys, so Herb is finally back. He lost a lot of daylight. You got back here at like 8:30. So it's about 9 right now, and we just kind of inspected the transmission. This came from Marcus, which actually came from his friend. I remember he had it for sale, so I told him hit him up, and fortunate for Herb, he still had it. So he said that the transmission is an SI, and after doing some spline counts and some clutch observing, we cannot use this clutch if we wanted to, because this is a 21 spline and the transmission is actually a 20 spline. A 20 spline is 89 specific, and Herb just enlightened me that I actually sold him this transmission. So this is not even the original 89 that came out of this car. This transmission is actually a 90 plus, because the flywheel is also the 90 plus, which is 212 millimeters, which you can see the clutch has a lot of extra surface around it. The 88 and 89 has a 200 millimeter flywheel. 90 to 2000 has a 212. So it doesn't matter which year clutch we use, the flywheel is good for it. But because this is a 20 spline, we need an 89 specific. So we're actually gonna push everything into the garage right now. We're gonna go to O'Reilly's, grab one of their clutches because they have one in stock, and hopefully it'll fit this, so we can reverse the entire process and get this thing up and going tonight. Power Torque, O'Reilly's clutch, lifetime warranty, and this is the 20 spline, so this is going to work out perfectly. Yes sir. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on the laps, and I'm really just trying to knock this out tonight. It is currently 9:48. Let's get to work. Didn't want to make a lot of noise, but we used the impact the entire way. And Herb got to eat some pho. And the only thing that's left is transmission fluid, and then we can drop the car. All right, guys, so we are finally done with Herb's transmission swap. All the gears go in, reverse worked, reverse light worked. We had a check engine light, but the VSS wasn't plugged in all the way. I drove it around the block, it feels good, and this thing should be ready for the road again. What a quick little long job. It took me like 45 minutes to pop the transmission out. Herb was gone for a couple of hours. I went inside, was editing video, passed out, woke up. You got here about 8:20-ish.
8:27.
8:30 he got back, and then we went to the store to pick up a new clutch, and then we reinstalled everything back in within the hour. Hopefully we can get back on the white CRX tomorrow. Hopefully the radiator shows up in the morning. Like when I wake up, it's on the floor in front of the house, but the radiator needs to be put into the white CRX before we can take it to the dyno, which is in like 3 days. And you know, worst case scenario, if we don't make it, we don't make it. But but we're still gonna be tuning its size element, so we'll be out there for that. And I don't know, maybe I'll, no, I can't take the wagon because the wagon doesn't have registration either. But anyways, we're gonna wrap up this video right here. It is kind of late and I need to go finish the video I started and get that ready for tomorrow's upload. So if you guys enjoy a little bit of the white CRX update and Herb's car back in action, man, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more shenanigans that's going on this weekend, because the ham meet's going on, dyno sessions going on, and just a whole bunch of shenanigans. If you guys want to stick around for that, man, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Take
Peace.
It easy.